budget announcements and achievements of Ministry of Science and Technology and Ministry of Earth Sciences. I welcome Minister of Science and Technology, Earth Sciences, Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harshvardhan ji. We have with us Secretary Science and Technology, Professor Ashutosh Sharma ji, Secretary Earth Sciences, Dr. M.N. Rajivan ji, Secretary Biotechnology, Dr. Renu Swarup ji, Secretary DSIR and DGCSIR, Dr. Shekhar Mande ji. Welcome to every one of them. I now request the Honorable Minister for his opening remarks and the presentation on the budget, please.
Good afternoon, friends. Thank you for being with us once again. So right now, this particular interaction with you is to share with you some of the important highlights of the budget pertaining to the Science and Technology and the Earth Sciences Ministry, and I'll just briefly outline them, and then my four secretaries of the four departments associated with this ministry: DST, Professor Ashutosh Sharma; Biotechnology, Dr. Renu Swarup; CSIR, Dr. Shekhar Mande; and Earth Sciences Ministry, Dr. Rajivan. They shall also briefly share some of the important achievements of the departments in the recent past. So, first of all, we have to, on behalf of the Science Ministry, thank our Prime Minister and of course the Finance Minister. Both of them had been very kind to our ministry, and we have seen that the Prime Minister has always been very passionate about promoting science, helping research in science, and strengthening all the projects in science. So, first of all, let me tell you that overall, combined, put together in our Ministry of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, this year there has been a 30% increase in our budget allocation for 21-22 as compared to the RE of last year, that is 2021. And if I have to talk about it department-wise, I would say that the increase in DSIR has been 22.87%. In DST it has been 21.14%. In DBT it has been 52.28%. And in the Ministry of Earth Sciences it has been 45.93%. Then the total budget estimate for the Ministry of Science and Technology as well as the Ministry of Earth Sciences put together for 21-22 is 16,695.36 crores. Can we have the next slide, please? Then these are some of the important announcements that have been made in the budget, and they are all very important announcements. There is a budget allocation of 50,000 crores over the next 5 years for the National Research Foundation. I'll talk a bit of detail about it when we come to the next slide. Then there is an announcement about the launch of a deep ocean mission with a budget outlay of more than 4,000 crores. This is something which was long pending, and we had been working for it over the years. Setting up of umbrella structures in 9 cities for building better synergies between the R&D institutions and the universities there. And then a national language translation mission, NTLM, to enable the translation of the wealth of governance and policy related knowledge into many of our regional languages. A launch of a hydrogen energy mission, and also the New Space India Limited, NSIL, a PSU under the Department of Space. This National Research Foundation, in fact, it is a part of the new education policy had envisaged that we ensure strengthening of support for research all over the country in a big way. Although there is a lot that through the Science and Technology Ministry was being done, but this is a dedicated fund which has been created, and this is going to be governed by a board which shall be appointed by the Prime Minister, consisting of accomplished and eminent researchers and professionals, and we'll have a budget of 50,000 crores over the next 5 years, and this will build an existing national strengths in research and innovation, fill the gaps in the current research and education ecosystem to augment India's research and innovation achievements. The primary aim will be to seed and grow research at the state universities and colleges where research is either currently in nascent stage or it is either absent. And this fund will ensure that research proposals from across the academic, research and innovation landscape is promoted in a big way for outstanding research in applied, pure and social sciences. This will also create a central clearing house for the collection, interpretation and analysis of information and data surrounding all research being conducted in the country. The idea is that all research pertaining to a particular subject, we are able to develop good quality synergy between everything, sharing of information between the various researchers in various institutions and places, and ensure that there is optimal utilization of that research to produce good quality outcomes. Next. Then, as I mentioned, that deep ocean mission, you will recall that some 50 years back, our ISRO was created, and activities with research in space, they were all part of that mission. Now this deep ocean mission is again another mission on similar lines, where we are going below the land or below the sea, and it has a total outlay of 4,168 crores over a period of next 5 years, and for the first phase, which will be between 21 and 24, there is an outlay of 2,857 crores, and in the second phase, which shall be between 24 and 26, there is an outlay of 1,311 crores. This is to ensure that there should be development of technologies for manned submersible for around 6 kilometers, that's about 6,000 meters, deep sea mining, development of ocean climate change advisory services, exploration and conservation of deep sea biodiversity, deep ocean survey and exploration, energy and fresh water from the ocean, and also advanced marine station for ocean biology. This is a very, very ambitious project of the government, and we expect that in the future times, some of the major deliverables would be a manned submersible to carry 3 scientists to a depth of 6 kilometers in the ocean with suite of scientific sensors and tools, an integrated mining system for mining polymetallic nodules from 600 meters depth, deep sea exploration for minerals from hydrothermal over Central Indian Ocean, research on marine biodiversity, bioprospecting and capacity building in marine biology. Then this is another announcement that has been made in the budget. The details of this are being worked out. We know that there are cities like Delhi, NCR, Bengaluru, Pune, Hyderabad, Jodhpur, Bhubaneswar, etc., where there are a lot of institutions which are working for science and technology research. They are in the universities and they are in the colleges, and they are, a lot of them are supported by the government, and they are also retaining their internal autonomy. So this is a umbrella structure which we propose to create in at least 9 cities, where with the help of coordination by the Ministry of Education and a GLUE grant provided by them, which has been set aside, there is going to be a good quality coordination of research at these multiple places within a particular city. And there is a proposal where 6 pilot cluster frameworks have already been initiated with the support from the office of the PSA in cities that already have a critical mass of science and technology focused organizations and institutions, apart from well-developed diverse industries. So this is this will be an example where a structure will be created which will ensure optimal utilization and good quality coordination and synergy between various institutions working in science for the development of research and their outcomes in 9 cities. Next. This is again 10 biotech Urjit clusters to complement and enhance the translational and commercialization potential of inventions and innovations coming out of academic research activities. They are being established. Then collaboration amongst the universities, national research labs, industry, incubators and startups. And of course, these will provide and promote and ensure seamless translation of knowledge from laboratory to market. Then this is another national language translation mission where using artificial intelligence and machine learning, we are going to ensure that the knowledge of wealth around science and which is available on the internet, we would like all this wealth of knowledge to be translated into the Indian languages, and this is a very, very important mission which is going to be taken up passionately, very passionately. And already DST has launched a separate program to create a science and technology Wikipedia in Hindi and other regional languages. Next. This is again another very, very important, ambitious mission for the which is going to play a very key role in the future. This is a hydrogen energy mission, and we are happy to be part of this now in the coming years. This is a launch of a hydrogen energy mission for generating hydrogen from green power sources for their storage, for their transport, and for their utilization. Zero carbon renewable energy globally made hydrogen-based energy sources more relevant than ever. This is in the global context, this is going to be crucial for India to get ahead in the race of new and upcoming green technologies and become self-reliant. For India to become a global champion in RE, it is crucial to encourage production of green hydrogen at scale. And this has found a very important place in the budget for the coming years. A shift towards clean energy with green hydrogen is only possible if India remains ahead of the curve in technological development, invests early in research, and ramps up manufacturing capability to maximize domestic needs. The mission is to be implemented by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, but two of our departments, DST and CSIR, are going to contribute significantly for the success of the hydrogen energy mission. When our colleagues from these departments talk about our achievements, they will let you know what has already taken place on this issue. Then this is about a new Space India Limited, a newly formed public sector undertaking. New Space India Limited under the Department of Space has been allocated 700 crores. The NSIL will execute the PSLV CS-51 launch carrying the Amazonia satellite from Brazil along with a few smaller Indian satellites. This is to be implemented by the Department of Space. But again, there is going to be a significant contribution by DST, CSIR and MOES for its success in times to come. Next. This is, I think, this is basically about the mission COVID Suraksha. You know that we had put 900 crores with the blessings of our Prime Minister for this mission, and this has resulted in fact in enhancing and boosting up the research for vaccine development in the country. Already you know the vaccines, so many vaccines are in the offing and so many have been supported. When our colleague Dr. Renu Swarup talks about the achievements, she'll give you the details about it. So now I think I can request my secretaries of the various
we invite
departments.
Secretary Science and Technology, Professor Asutosh Sharma ji.
Yes, so all the stuff which has been going on in the Ministry and Ministry of Earth Sciences, it has been pushing our indicators in science and technology and innovation with great speed. And as we know that India is placed now third among all the countries in terms of number of scientific publications. In fact, the quality of those publications has also gone up in the last few years. We used to be somewhere around 12 to 14 number a few years ago. Now it's about 10th or so. There are, of course, there have been a great stride in innovation index for India, going from 80s to 48 now. Indeed, a very, very rapid climb, and that's because of very many things which have been put together by this government. Just to give you an idea, just the Department of Science and Technology made more incubators and supported more companies in the last 5 years compared to the previous 50. So it has picked up great deal of steam by all the ministries, Atal Innovation Mission and so on, which is reflected in innovation index going up very quickly. We are also third in the world in terms of number of PhDs which are being produced, and third also number in terms of number of startups, technology startups, and so on. So on the whole, it's a positive direction and positive climb, and which is made possible by the overall increase in science and technology infrastructure, human resources, and so on. Now I'll just very quickly come to some of the successes of Department of Science and Technology, which despite the constraints of COVID-19 have been able to fulfill not only all the objectives but set up new things as well. And this is pushing the envelope of knowledge in all the way from atoms to astrophysics and everything in between, as well as the use of that knowledge. So to quickly say, one of the great stories of this COVID-19 time is to have a national science, technology, and innovation policy 2021, which has been put up for public consultation. It's been a very extensive consultation process with all the stakeholders, and the policy is now getting ready to be released very soon. Together with that, which is an overarching policy for science, technology, and innovation, 3 more policies have been in the offing during this time, which will also be released very soon, that they are nearly ready. One of them is scientific social responsibility. The other one is on infrastructure, creation of infrastructure, maintaining infrastructure, sharing infrastructure, and so on. And the third policy is on the geospatial data, its acquisition, its use, its sharing. I am also happy to report that a new program called Nidhi for Innovations, a third-party analysis of its impact, revealed that in the last 5 years, startups and incubators supported by DST produced nearly 28,000 crores of new wealth and about 65,000 new jobs. And this is, of course, startups, once they mature, they get successful, then their impact gets much bigger as they come out of the incubators and do all of that. In the supercomputing, National Supercomputing Mission, I'm also happy to report that 3 supercomputers of petaflop ranges have been established. Whole lot of that design and assembly happened in India. There was a course correction in National Supercomputing Mission, which is instead of importing supercomputers, that more and more of their content is being made indigenously. And these 3 plus 3 which have been established are examples of that. 13 more are going to be established this year. And so it's going to take off. It has finally taken off in a big way. 3 Sathi centers have been established. Every year 3 new would be established. Idea is to make available to the industry, to MSMEs, to startup, the state-of-the-art infrastructure and informational resources, which are otherwise not very easily accessible to industry. And then the Survey of India, using the most modern technology of LiDAR and drones and all of that, has launched a Map the India mission, which has very ambitious, first time in 250 years old history of surveying and mapping in India, that would map India at accuracy of 10 centimeters, and the work has already started in 6 states and across the Ganga basin. So it's, and also it's adding up to the Swamitwa scheme, which means getting the title deed for your land in urban areas. Also, the National Mission on Quantum Technology and Application, which was announced in the last budget, last to last budget, worth 8,000 crore rupees, has been totally formulated, and a small pilot has been started so that DPR and all of that is ready. The area has been completely mapped on that. During also another mission, the Cyber Physical System mission, which was launched last year, already 25 hubs of cyber physical mission have been established, and they cover the entire range from data sciences, machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, Industry 4.0, everything that is a futuristic technology and its applications. And finally, during COVID-19, that specialized products were supported. For example, more than 80 startups and dozens of big companies were supported for specialized COVID-19 related products and technologies, several dozens of which are already in the market, all the way from ventilators to diagnostics to vaccines to PPEs to N95 masks. A whole lot of them have turned very successful. So it's been overall a good year despite all the constraints of COVID-19. And so I would stop there and we would continue this march of science, technology and innovation in the new budget year.
Thank you very much, sir. I invite Secretary Biotechnology, Dr. Renu Swaroopji.
Thank you very much, and very good afternoon to all of you. This year has been primarily through the COVID challenge. We've had a lot of activities that have been focused on COVID. The department has contributed hugely to our fight on COVID with the S&T solutions, right from the vaccines to the diagnostics to the genome sequencing of the variants. The COVID Suraksha mission, which the Honorable Minister alluded to, was announced by the Honorable Finance Minister in the third package of the Atmanirbhar Bharat announcements. The whole purpose is to see how we can accelerate the development of indigenous vaccines. And you all know that we have a whole portfolio of vaccines under different platforms which are in advanced stages of development. And this year, as we move into 21-22, we will see many of these then being rolled out. In addition to the vaccine development per se, the COVID Suraksha mission is also to help the ecosystem to be built in terms of getting the clinical trial sites ready, getting ourselves the laboratories which are required for the development in terms of the animal challenge facilities, in terms of the immunoassay labs. That whole ecosystem has got prepared. And that is what is now helping us to take this accelerated COVID vaccine development forward. We already have supported, so far we have nearly 30 vaccines, as has been said, candidates in different stages of development. And about 6 of them are now in advanced stages of the clinical trials, 3 more which are in late stages of preclinical, and the mission is to see how we can very quickly get them moving. In addition to the vaccines, there has been a major emphasis on the diagnostic kits, and as we all know, our whole effort to become self-reliant, self-sufficient for the diagnostic kits, which started in March last year, continued during the year, and within a period of less than 90 days, the startups, the industry, the researchers from the laboratories had all been supported to get this done, and we had very quickly, within 90 days, got our target met, and today we are not only self-sufficient for our COVID vaccine development, but we are also now ready to import it, to export it to different countries. And we have about 100 diagnostic kits of indigenous manufacturers which are approved by ICMR, and these are now being manufactured in large numbers. The manufacturing zone that we had set up at the AMTZ in Visakhapatnam has in fact produced over 100 lakh kits, and which have been given to the market. So that has been a major effort that has been made. At that point of time, it was also realized that we did not have indigenous reagents which could support this diagnostic kit development. NBRIC, the National Biotech Resource Indigenization Consortium, was put together. And NBRIC today, that was a consortium of industries, startups, small companies to come together. There was a demand aggregation so that they could bring out the supplies. And they provided all the indigenous reagents which could facilitate this kit development. Today we have over 200 manufacturers who have come together in that NBRIC, and in this year, as we move forward, we will go beyond diagnostic kits to see how this could be made available for therapeutics and vaccine, other areas of development. There was also a major effort for the genome sequencing of the COVID SARS-CoV virus strain. Initially we looked at pan-India strains and we covered a large number of them. But subsequently, when the variants began to coming in, now a whole consortium has been set up, and that is involving 10 laboratories of all CSIR, ICMR, and Health Ministry with DBT. And that consortium has taken on, and we have been reporting that regularly under the COVID briefing. So I will not go into too many details of that. But that consortium has also taken off in a big way. In addition to our stress on the COVID vaccine, there was a whole lot of activities which continued during the year in supporting our studies in terms of healthcare, in terms of also supporting the innovation ecosystem. We had in the last year's budget announcement, there was a major announcement made on the Pan-India Genome India Sequencing Consortia, which was to look at doing the genome sequencing of 10,000 individuals. And once we complete that, we will then have 10,000 disease-based individuals. I'm pleased to announce that that activity has taken off very well, even despite the COVID challenge. We already have nearly 6,000 individuals who have been taken in, and their sequencing work should be completed. In fact, this will be much before time, and we will be able to take on even the disease-based populations. The effort is that through this Genome India initiative, we would be able to bring in precision medicine, precision healthcare, so that we can have predictive diagnosis for a large number of our major diseases. We are linking some of our key cohorts that we have for our disease base, whether it is the maternal and child health, rare and genetic disorders, and also looking at some of the cardiovascular and other brain-related disorders. The Pan-India Genome Initiative is supplemented and supported a lot by the Human Microbiome Initiative, which was again one part of that announcement which was made, and that is looking at the gut microbiome so that it also relates to it. In addition, there was a major effort on trying to see how we can boost the translation of products. If you all recall, the year before that, in 1920, the Honorable Minister had released the National Nano Pharma Guidelines. In this last year, we released the Nano Agri Guidelines. So both the sectors, pharma and agri, we now have the guidelines which have been released for product development, and the DCGI's office and the Central Pesticide Board and the Ministry of Agriculture have been working with us to see that these could be implemented for product development. The innovation ecosystem, as Secretary DST said, India has been growing with that in a big way. And for the biotech sector specifically, we have played a major role. In 2016, when the Honorable Prime Minister announced the action plan, we had committed to having 2,000 startups by 2020. I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a figure of nearly 4,000, double the number that we had initially catered to. And this large number, in fact, even in these COVID times, more than 1,500 of these entrepreneurs came forward, and we had about 130 COVID-related products that they brought to the market. These startups are being supported, this innovation ecosystem is being supported, and as we move forward, in the last budget announcement, you all would have heard, there was a special announcement made to set up technology clusters. That is being taken forward so that we can help these startups to grow. Already, we have, in fact, just 75 startups have shown a valuation of more than 3,500 crores through these investment schemes which have been made. So we are hoping that this will be a major change, and we will be able to push this as we move forward. We have also tried to support the agriculture ecosystem by taking up the National Genome Facility, which was for crop genomics and genotyping and phenotyping. The effort has been to see that we can do the genotyping for nearly 63,000 germplasm, which are entry of our nutritional germplasm across different crops. The effort is that we can have pre-breeding material available, which can be made available to the ICR network and other farmers, so that we could get improved not only productivity, production and productivity both. That facility has become operational in the last year, and not only by our research institutes, but the industry and others are also now making use of that for their genotyping and pre-breeding material to be taken up. There was also a major effort in the last year, in addition to this, on clean energy technologies and on healthcare programs. We launched a major mission on AMR, antimicrobial research, and we also launched a major mission on affordable artificial intelligence for affordable healthcare. These missions were in last year on 26th of February, which is the foundation day of DBT, the Honorable Minister announced the Atal Jai Anusandhan missions, biotech missions. So these 5 missions were announced under that, and they were taken forward during this year. We have also made a major effort on promoting the human resource development, which is so critical for the biotech sector. In addition to the undergraduate, postgraduate, JRF and RA programs that we have been supporting for many years, which have built a critical mass, and we nearly have 5,000 such students and researchers which get supported. We have also started a major program last year on Skill Vigyan program, under which components related to the technician training, the teachers and faculty training, entrepreneurship development, and also looking at how do we give them alternate related career paths in their skill vigyan have been supported. This we are working through the state governments, through the S&T councils. Already 9 states have been supported, and in this coming year, we are hoping to cover every state and union territory through this Skill Vigyan initiative, which will involve a major number of institutes as we move forward. Taking science to society has been our major effort as well, and there are 2 major programs that we've done for that. One is the Biotech Kisan program, in which we are not just taking our scientific solutions to the farmers, but looking at the specific problems which the farmers have and bringing science solutions to those. So it's connecting science to the farmers. And in this, we have already now supported, this number is reaching 115 as we close this financial year, covering every aspirational districts. In the last year itself, 25,000 farmers got benefited with nearly 120 interventions which were given to them for facilitating right from agriculture to livestock to looking at improved clean energy technologies, and also looking at entrepreneurial activities which can help them to support. And the last is similarly, we are also trying to support the rural ecosystem, empowering the rural sector. We have been able to set up rural technology clusters. Already 12 clusters have been set up, and we are hoping that in 2022, our target is to set up 100 such clusters across the country, taking these various technologies to the state. So we are going to move into 21-22, focusing on 2 major activities. One is setting up these centers of excellence for new and emerging technologies, cones as they are called, and also taking ahead Urjit clusters, which the Honorable Minister just alluded to, which is going to help us to connect the universities, research institutes, startup and industry, so that we can have a complete stakeholder ecosystem which can take research to the market. So that really is the plan as we will be able to move forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now I request Secretary DSIR and DGCSIR, Dr. Shekhar Pandeji.
Thank you very much. CSIR, as all of you know, is a chain of 37 laboratories across the country, and we span most of the areas of modern science and technology. It was therefore expected that when the pandemic struck us about a year ago, we all got together and devised a strategy to bring innovative solutions to mitigate the COVID situation. And I've just given you 2 or 3 different examples of this before I will say a few things apart from COVID. All of you are aware that based on the CRISPR-Cas technology, which is very contemporary around the world, we were able to devise a diagnostic kit called Feluda. It's a very low-cost diagnostic kit, very fast, cheap, and as accurate as the RT-PCR. And this is now deployed in the field. It's marketed by Tata Medical and Diagnostics. So that is already in the market and is being used quite widely whenever there is a requirement of large-scale testing of COVID-19. We also have a variant of this kit which detects very, very specifically, first in the world, which detects the mutants. Any mutant that arises in the world, this particular kit can detect that very, very specifically. So that's a new innovation that we have brought forth. The second thing is the low-cost, non-invasive ventilator called Swasthvayu. It was designed by our National Aerospace Laboratory in Bangalore and is now being marketed by multiple firms, Apollo and Bharat Forge and so on and so forth. This also is available in the market, and many of you are aware, recently we completed the order of 1,200 ventilators for Delhi government. So they were delivered in record time of something like 2 weeks. So that we have been able to do. The third innovation that I would like to highlight here is the rapidly deployable hospitals that we can make in a notice of about 5 days. So at any corner of the country, if there is a shortfall of hospitals, we can go there in 5 days, we can erect a hospital. Honorable Minister inaugurated one such in Delhi and one in Tamil Nadu some time ago. And a 100-bedded hospital or 50-bedded hospital can be made in about 5 days. And the Honorable Vice President of India 2 days ago inaugurated 5 such hospitals in Himachal Pradesh. So in Himachal Pradesh, they were falling short of hospital space, and we were able to go there and make that. Apart from this, we have developed a number of other COVID-related technologies. They are available in a compendium that we have prepared. Each of the technologies is listed there, which is the laboratory to be contacted, and to whom the technology has been transferred and is being marketed but which of the private companies, that is also listed in the technology compendium. So everything that we have done has been in close collaboration with many different kind of stakeholders, whether it be startups, MSMEs, or large private industrial houses. And all these technologies that we have developed have been brought in society. They are already there in the market. COVID is not the only thing that we did in the last 1 year. Many of you have been fascinated by the news of Hing. All of you have covered all across. There's one thing that what we said is a very historical thing that what we did. For the first time in the history of India, we brought cultivation of Hing here. And Hing plants, many of you actually have also gone and seen. I know for sure some people here who have actually gone and seen on field how it is being done in the Lahaul and Spiti Valley. We tested India's first ever fuel cell car recently in collaboration with KPIT in Pune. Honorable Mantriji inaugurated that particular one that day. The first car that runs on fuel cell technology that we have demonstrated, and we are actually now in the process of scaling this particular up. A very high power S-band 2.6 megawatt magnetron has also been devised and is now being transferred to an industry partner. So we brought a lot of innovation forth for COVID, but also apart from COVID, there are multiple things that we did. There is a coal to methanol plant that also has started. So gasification of coal for towards clean energy, fuel cell. And one thing that many of us have been hearing in the last few days is about the seaweed cultivation. So our center in Mandapam has actually demonstrated over the last few years how seaweeds can be cultivated and how a value can be generated out of those seaweeds. And I'm very pleased to see in this year's budget announcement that is also a mention of setting up of seaweed parks in Tamil Nadu. And that actually is based on the success that we have demonstrated in Mandapam, providing a lot of employment to people there and also bringing a lot of value in terms of different aspects. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I invite Secretary Earth Sciences, Dr. Rajivan Ji.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all of you. As all of you know that the Ministry of Essence has the mandate of providing weather services. And last 1 year also, because of this COVID, we had a lot of restrictions, lockdown was there. But two institutions, IMD, India Meteorology Department, and also INCOIS, Hyderabad, were termed as essential service providers by the Ministry of Home Affairs. So to provide uninterrupted services of both ocean services as well as weather services, which we did extremely well in spite of all these COVID restrictions. And you may be aware that we have given a very accurate forecast for two cyclones. One is Umphan, which went to West Bengal, and Nisarga, which affected the Maharashtra. And last year we commissioned a new urban flood early warning system by Honorable Minister, as well jointly with the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra, a urban flood early warning system in Mumbai. It is the second in series. Earlier we developed commissioned a system for Chennai, and this year we are trying to implement this system, same system for Kolkata. And also we have been working on improving the network, observation network over Northwest India. As all of you know, that Northwest India is very vulnerable for natural disasters, especially cloudbursts, etc. And so we have started setting up X-band radars, and so far 4 radars have been set up, and 6 more radars are likely to come by next few months, next 4-5 months. And for Delhi, we set up another air quality forecasting system. It's called very high resolution, over 400-meter resolution air quality forecast modeling system has been implemented for Delhi. And as all of you know, that MOA is also responsible for providing agrometeorological services for farmers. And we have been providing at district level. Now we have gone to the block level. Earlier we had 130 agrometeorological field units. Now we added another 200. Now we have almost 330. It is called DAMO, District Agrometeorological Units. And also we have started setting up special AWS, automatic weather stations, exclusively for farmers, and 50 of them already have been installed, and another 150 will be installed in the next few months. And we also brought up a report by NCER of how much is the economic benefits farmers benefited from our agrometeorological services. It was released by Honorable Minister a few months back, and the report clearly says that there's agrometeorological services as well as a potential fishing zone advisory yielded benefits worth rupees 50,000 crore over a period of 5 years, and they have considered only the farmers as well as fishermen below poverty line. And also we have been providing support for islands, and you may be knowing that 3 islands in Lakshadweep Islands we have provided desalination plants. So another 6 more we are now implementing. Out of that, 1 already completed. Mainly because of this COVID restriction, we are not able to complete the remaining one. Next few months, the remaining 5 also will be. So total 9 islands will have these desalination plants. It's indigenously developed technology. And finally, I would like to announce that 2 policy documents are now in public domain. One is Blue Economy Policy Document. It was prepared by Economic Advisory Council of peer to PM, and Ministry of Science has contributed significantly, and it is available in our MOS website for public comments. And another one is Arctic Policy, which was brought out by National Security Council, and in which also MOS has provided a significant inputs. These 2 policy documents are available for the time being for public comments, and your comments are welcome. With this, so the deep ocean mission, which Honorable Minister has now announced, will be a big boost for the Blue Economy initiative which the Government of India is taking up. With this, I will stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Friends, the presentation will be circulated to you soft copy, but now the floor is open. If there is any question, we can take questions.
ये अभी आपने ये बायोटेक ऊर्जित क्लस्टर की बात की है, ये कहाँ पर होंगे ये 10 जिनकी बात हो रही है, बताएंगे इसे?
ये बायोटेक ऊर्जित क्लस्टर्स का एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट हमने आउट किया हुआ है आजकल. ये डिपेंड करेगा जहाँ पे लोकेशंस में इनका क्राइटेरिया के बेसिस पे जहाँ से एप्लीकेशंस आएंगी उसी पे हम इनको करेंगे. जो मेजर सिटीज़ हैं जहाँ पे यूनिवर्सिटी, रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट्स, स्टार्टअप हब्स और इंडस्ट्री का है, क्राइटेरिया ये है कि वो जहाँ पे होंगे, पर एग्जैक्टली कौन से 10 हैं वो हमारे इवैल्यूएशन के बाद ही हम उन 10 को लोकेट कर पाएंगे. एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आजकल इनवाइट किया हुआ है.
Number 13.
Good afternoon, sir. So my question is regarding the earthquakes. So you are investing in the flood monitoring, early warning. So in the earthquakes, recently last week there was this earthquake, and the Seismology Institute had, goofed up there. So what is the position as regards there? They said it's Amritsar and it was in somewhere else, sir.
It's not intentionally goofed up the story. It was a small mistake in the software. The software picked up the secondary wave as a primary wave. So we made a small mistake, and it was corrected within few minutes. So it is not intentionally done a mistake. It happens. Even USGS also makes mistakes.
Last question, 15.
Pallav Bagla from New Frontiers Science. Question for Dr. Harshvardhan. So you have also mentioned that last year was the year of science and health. As the minister, how will you ensure that the same synergy and the same level of participation and delivery happens in the next 4 years? Because what we saw in this 1 year has been amazing delivery from the science departments. How will you ensure continuous and the same levels?
Pallav ji, you have been following, at least I know for the last 6 years of science. It is not only the last year that our ministry has been working with, utmost dedication. The last 6 years have been years of great achievements. It's not that we have mentioned here right now only the last year, because it's very difficult to talk about everything. So I called it as a year of science because specifically during COVID times, in spite of so many hardships, so many practical difficulties in communicating, so many things, everyone rose to the occasion. Every scientist in every laboratory rose to the occasion. The laboratories went out of their routine domain to search for innovative solutions. And the data and the outcomes that have been produced in the last 1 year, I think they speak volumes about the contribution of the scientists. So that is why I had repeatedly said that 2020, it will not be remembered as an year where COVID in fact affected the whole world and our country, but it will also be remembered as an year of science and a year of accomplishments of the scientific community, because they have done, I think, extraordinarily well. You have seen the very fact that in the history of vaccine development, in the shortest possible time, vaccines have been developed, and another a whole lot of vaccines are in the offing. They are in the phase 3 trials, phase 2 trials, phase 1 trial. There's a advanced preclinical trials, and it's not only about that. In terms of everything that was required for the COVID, it was all there. And our vision, we know that science, as a minister also I have been able to appreciate that science has the tremendous potential to solve each and every unresolved problem of this people of this globe. And that is why Prime Minister has been repeatedly saying, he has reminded everyone about the scientific social responsibility, how we connect science with people, how we make the outcomes more and more people-centric. So this is not that we have done it only in 2020. We have been doing it all through the last 6 years under the guidance of our Prime Minister. And the very fact that year after year, there is a continuous enhancement in budget, there is a continuous, scaling up of the focus around scientific activities. It should be assuring for everyone that it's not only 2020, but the future years bring much more promise for the country. The Prime Minister has already given us a target where we want to become the top 2-3 scientific nations of the whole world by 2030. And there is a lot in science that is actually happening. Dr. Ashutosh Sharma mentioned to you that in these 5-6 years itself, you remember we used to tell you we were 5th or 6th in scientific publications. We have come to 3rd position in terms of whether it is patents or whether it is anything. We have this Global Innovation Index. CSIR, you know CSIR is one of our prestigious institutions. In education and full, involvement of all the stakeholders to ensure that we are able to give better living to the people of country and resolve their issues. And that is why we have, in this COVID time also, I mentioned in the last press conference also, we have got this Science, Technology, Innovation Policy 2020, which has been produced after so many deliberations and so many inputs from all stakeholders within the country and all across the globe. And now that also further with stakeholder consultation with 25,000 subjects, we have again put it in the public domain, finally, to have anything that anybody has to comment on that. So this is all about helping people and using science in the best possible manner. And we assure you that the future years are going to be far more glorious than our past years.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, friends. We close this press conference.